Hello everybody and welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we are getting set here for the All-Star Open in the Season 14 Budweiser All-Pro Series. I am Michael Norman alongside Seth Cole up here in the booth. And Seth, 25 laps, a short sprint. We've got about a little less than 20 drivers out there trying to make it for one spot. What do you think you're going to see here tonight?
Well, the most important factor as well is there's no points on the line, so these drivers are going to do whatever it takes to get into that all-star race. As you mentioned, a pretty sizable field and only one transferee. Obviously, it's going to be the drivers that got the benefit of starting up at the front. They're going to try and stay at the front. There's a lot of big names towards the back. They've got only 25 laps to be able to work their way up there. You mentioned it before we came on the air, though. We do know that these drivers cannot make it on fuel, so if we end up going into a long enough green flag run, those drivers at the back could utilize pit strategy to their benefit to gain that track position. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a bit of a chess match here tonight, but I think we're going to see a bit more aggressiveness than we would see if there were actually points that were going to be paid out at the end of the night.
That's very true. Here we got Trackhouse on the front row. We got Trent Dunham on the pole and Charles Sanford, who came close to winning at Pocono if it wasn't for fuel strategy. Alongside Benjamin Miles and Cole Baker in row 2, we got Sima Oskin and Bern Oliveira row 3. Charlie Buxton, Kyle Matthews back there in row 4. So, and I want to talk about right behind Kyle Matthews on the outside lane. That looks like the 34 of James Qualls. Now, Seth, you weren't with me for the second dual race at Pocono, but you were there for the first one. In the first dual race, James Qualls finished 3rd place, and so that netted him starting 3rd to last, which I'm going to guess to say it was 36th. No, yeah, 36th starting spot in duel number 2, and he came back and finished top 5.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we talked about it back during that first dual race at Pocono of how it was going to be very difficult for drivers that didn't have the good starting track position to be able to work their way through the field and net really good points in both events, and Qualls was able to do that. I'm also trying to figure out if it's just my old man eyes, but I'm trying to figure out how Benjamin Miles is starting 3rd. That looks like Charles Belding to me, but you know.
Did I say Benjamin Miles?
You did. I was very confused.
Well, then it's just my old brain. So it is Charles Belding.
My old eyes, perfect commentary team.
Yeah,
let's go.
Absolutely. On that note, we're going to be quiet so we can listen to the opening ceremonies and get this race underway.
It's going to be the best commentary when we're quiet.
Right?
And now with the most famous words in motorsports, I'm proud to present the president and CEO of the Cleveland Capital Holding Company, Mr. Mike Frost. Mike?
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The engines are fired up here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we are getting ready for this race. 25 laps. It's going to be very fun to see if these cars can get onto the racing surface or not here. Well, not onto the racing surface, but like from the back to the front. I've had a couple of incidents happen off screen that we had to
Couple
fix.
technical glitches. It's all good.
But you guys won't see that because hopefully my master skills at editing will have worked around it. So right after it would have been like right after you heard to start your engines, it would cut dramatically into this version you're seeing right here. So Seth, 25 laps of racing, the potential of pit stops between now and the end of the race. Could strategy come into play? Only one spot on the line.
And you brought up a point before we had the technical glitches too, that there's been no practice, there's been no qualifying. These drivers are getting ready to take the green flag here with this setup for the first time. And I think this is going to be very important for whoever that one driver is that eventually moves on to the All-Star race, because they're going to have that 25 laps of experience, potentially a green flag pit stop experience as well, that the other All-Star drivers are not going to have. So we'll see.
Here we go, going into the restart zone. Green flag is out. We're underway here at Charlotte.
Maybe Trackhouse teammates on the front row, but tonight I don't think there's any teammates. It's every man for himself. Nobody's working with anybody, whether it's a team alliance, a manufacturer alliance, because there's only that one spot up for grabs.
There's only 15 drivers in the All-Star Open here. You can hear these drivers already kind of playing around with the throttle. Baker thinking about taking it 3 wide. Trent gonna pull away. But here comes this 15 of Charles Belding. Not Benjamin Miles, but that's Charles Belding. Now going to go for second place. But Seth, we've seen the runs come from the outside lane after a while. I guess it really depends on how you enter the corner.
Honestly, that outside line, as the run goes on at Charlotte, tends to really be a thing on the entrance of 3 to the exit of 4. People might think that Charlotte just visibly is a cookie-cutter racetrack at the same at one end that it is on the other. That's not the case. There's actually a lot more banking. You actually have to be a little bit slower on entry over here into turn 1. Over in 3 and 4, especially on fresh tires, sometimes you can actually be full throttle. Now, obviously, as the tires wear down and the tire temperature starts to kick up on that right front, you have to lift a lot more. But it is much faster over here in 3 and 4 and much more of an opportunity to make a pass. There you see right there, Bernd Oliveira made the move to the inside of Trent for second, but Trent was able to keep alongside through 3 and 4. I think Oliveira might be able to get the pass done down here, though, into turn 1.
We'll wait and see, but Charles Belding has taken the lead right now. Look at this! Look at him still staying side by side right there. The one car should get a good run off the corner.
Got some draft up there as well on the top side with Samet Ozkan. That can sometimes help, even though it's not a very lengthy back straightaway, but enough time to be able to clear someone. But there you see Oliveira actually made the pass off of turn 4. So that says to me that that car is very good on the early run, able to get back to the throttle, not tight through the center. We'll see if that translates to a good long-run car. Sometimes you have to kind of figure out whether you want a good long-run car or a good short-run car at a track like Charlotte.
You saw him actually run about half a groove higher than the 15 in turns 1 and 2. That got him a good run through on the back straightaway there. We'll see if he can do something with the race leader here as we're coming to 20 laps to go. But don't forget, don't forget, we still got a pit stop.
I was going to say, to the point you made there about that. Whoa. Okay, well, how about move him out of the way? I don't think there was contact, but he certainly let him know that he was on the inside. But back to your point of running that half groove higher, big reason for that, get clean air to the nose, because if you're running in somebody's draft, I guarantee you, it doesn't matter if you're 5 laps in or 50 laps in, your car is going to get really tight off the corner, and that outside wall creeps up on you in a hurry if you're in somebody else's dirty air. So get that clean air to the nose, you're able to turn better off the corner and get the best optimal straightaway speed as well.
The 9 clears for the race lead, has about a 0.4 of a second gap back to a new second place driver. That is Samet Ozkan, driving the 18 this season. We talked about how he drove the 11 last season. Well, the 11's already locked into the All-Star race with her wins last season and the championship that she won. So it'll be interesting to see a couple more. I think this 18 it might be the only Joe Gibbs car not already into the All-Star race, because Jessica Shelton got a win last season when she drove the 10, so that actually put her in the All-Star race now that she drives the 20. So the 18, yeah, is the only Joe Gibbs driver that's not already locked into the All-Star race.
Yeah, the other Joe Gibbs car, Carson Gum, two-time winner on this season, Daytona 500 winner this season. So yeah, Smed Oscon trying to make it a clean sweep for all the JGR Toyotas being in the field.
Remember last year when none of the JGR Toyotas had anything?
Oh man, they had such a tough year.
Well, they really learned.
On numerous occasions. Smed Oscon was in the conversation on numerous occasions. If I remember correctly, he almost won Homestead, but just came up short. I think he finished in the top 5, but he could not find that checkered flag last season.
Yeah, it was also hit close, I think, at Nashville Super Speedway, too. Bern Oliveira able to keep the lead going right now. Trent looking, he's going to look to the inside of the 18 now. Going to try to go back. Cole Baker trying to hold his spot here, maybe try to gain, but this side-by-side is going to allow that 9 to pull away.
A couple of drivers have really kind of fallen back since the start. Charles Belding, we saw him out in front after he got the lead taken from him. He's dropped back to 6th, and Charles Sanford, granted, he started on the outside line, but he was on the outside of the front row, and he's all the way back here. I think he's around 11th or 12th position.
11th.
Now back to the inside, going to try and work his way forward. I wonder if maybe he had a long-run car, and this might be him starting to make forward progress now.
We'll have to wait and see, because don't forget, we still have a pit stop coming. I'm just not entirely sure at what lap.
Fitzwater and Dylan Matthews also started in the last 2 spots, and neither of them have made any progress at all. The only cars they've gotten around has been Charles Sanford. It makes me wonder if this is going to be more of a track position race than one would think. Of course, still have the green flag pit stop potentially coming up here and everything that could shake things up, but I guarantee you, every single one of the drivers already locked into the All-Star race. They're up there either in a suite or on their haulers or watching this back in their trailers. They're keeping an eye on this because they want those notes for when it's time to go All-Star racing. As mentioned, nobody's turned a lap up until this All-Star Open here at Charlotte.
That's the other thing, too, that the winner of the All-Star Open will have the seat time to take to the All-Star race. You know, unfortunately, though, them having to start dead last.
Yep. I think the highest gainer of spots so far in this race, I believe it would be James Qualls. Started 10th and currently up in the 6th position, +4 from where he started. Everybody else, I think, for the most part, they've gained about maybe 2 or 3 positions from where they start. Actually, +4 for Bern Oliveira as well. Started, actually +5, I should say. Started 6th in the race lead.
Cole Baker now going to, with the help of Reggie Fogelman in the 8 car, going to take over 2nd place. Now, it's like I said, it's just going to be if these cars can reel in the race leader.
After you kind of settle out your differences here and try and get single filed out to reel in the 9 car, as you continue to battle side by side for 2nd, you're pulling each other back and just giving the 9 of Oliveira a chance to be able to continue to open up that gap. I mean, there's already visibly, 5-6 car lengths from the 9 back to the 43. We'll see if that closes up now that Baker is clear of Fogelman and company. And I'm also going to be interested to see if you're that 9 car, you know, you haven't really had to face a challenge for the last 8-9 laps. Do you maybe be that first car onto pit road, take advantage of those fresh tires, or do you stay out, maybe hope for a caution to save you? If you're Cole Baker, you've got the benefit of, if you dive onto pit road, Nime's already past the commitment line, so you've got the chance to maybe undercut him. Oh, is the Nime pitting? No, he just ran really low on the track, and Baker ran really high. Okay, that threw me off.
Yeah, that tends to happen. They try to run a different line in 3 and 4 than they do try to get some clean air. Baker is. He's going to do it again here, run about that middle lane, middle groove there.
Outside line is fast over there in 3 and 4 too. I would actually hazard to say faster than the inside line, especially this far into a run.
Cole Baker deciding to run the low line here.
You can see the flames coming out of the tailpipes there when he went through the center of 3 and 4. Had to really bail out of the throttle to make sure the thing was going to turn through the center.
RJ Bishop and Qualls still moving through the field here. Good Qual's going to run on the 8. Let's see if he'll dive low. For the most part, single filed out. He turns to the inside here. The 8 car stays to the outside. Still no run about coming down pit road, but Qualls and RJ Bishop working together.
7 laps to go here as well, so we're looking at a scenario if they can't make it on fuel, they're probably going to come down and just take on a splash, top off. I'm almost wondering if maybe you don't even bother to put on Goodyear tires here.
That could be a strategy call.
Yeah, why waste the time? And then you got to consider as well. Let's say
Whoa,
that
look, some of these cars running the middle lane back there. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
now they're coming down pit road.
Well, what I was just about to say, let's forget. I was going to say if they come to pit road with like 3 or 2 to go. Oh, Dylan Matthews just spun at pit road entry. I think that brought out a caution.
No, it did not.
Yeah, he was in front of Charles Sanford, but I think that was deemed off the racing surface. But yeah, I was wondering if we ended up having drivers come to pit road around like 23, 24, if somebody back there might have saved about a lap and a half.
Well, I saw the 7 car was the first on the pit road. She was towards the back there, so we'll see if whatever she did is going to help. As here comes the 42 and the 4 down pit road here.
So maybe Crenshaw. I like the strategy. Come down a clean pit road, ease of access on, ease of access off. Saw a lot of drivers coming to pit road that last time around, so might have been a bit more congested, might not have been able to get as much as you could on entry. Of course, Dylan Matthews had a little bit of a half spin there, so might have been contact with another driver.
Well, see, look at all the spots she's gaining right now.
Gonna get up to maybe 3rd, I would say, if she can get past Baker and Belding. Oh, maybe 2nd here.
No, it's 3rd. That'll be 3rd. She gets past Baker right here because the 9 car is far out ahead. Now, the 9 car just overtook. So this is going to be Burns' race right here.
Brent Dunham must have had an issue there. He's coming off pit road, getting put a lap down.
So that was a very valiant try for the 7 team.
Yes. I like the call. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Maybe some valuable experience here for all of these drivers that aren't transferring into the All-Star race for the next points paying race here at Charlotte, though. So might see what transpired here tonight. Maybe on a larger scale, utilized in the upcoming longer points paying race.
It's very true. Oh, the caution is out.
This changes up everything. Everybody can make it on fuel, or maybe. I mean, did they take just enough to get to the checkered flag?
Caution is out. Not too entirely sure why, but this is going to bunch the field back up and give us a green-white checkered finish.
And I'll tell you what I think here, though. I don't think this is going to change much in terms of hurting the 9. Under most circumstances, I think the race leader would not be thrilled about this caution coming out. But with what we've seen with the strength out of this 9 car, first off, but also the fact that this has really seemed to be a track position type race. I think being the control car and only having to defend for 3 miles, I think Bern Oliveira might still be in a good spot.
That's very true. Flagman with the caution flag waving here. Should see the timer extend. Yep, there it is. The lap counter extend.
We got single file or double file restarts here.
It's a double file, and we should see the 1 car move to the back.
That's what I was wondering. I wasn't sure. I thought the 1 would probably be EOL. Okay.
Gonna go ahead and accelerate to the 1 to go signal. Let's see if they get it this time.
Madeline Crenshaw got that pit strategy to gain her all the track position. Start 2nd place. Let's see if that was the call that eventually is going to win her this race. Belding was strong in the early going before he started to fade back. His pit crew did a great job on pit road, and
Trent fading to the back like normal. 15 cars back there. We should see
Baker, James Qualls right there.
Yep, we should see these cars double up heading off into turn number 3.
Here's the other thing I'm kind of worried about for Madeline Crenshaw.
Outside lane.
Outside line. Remember, we saw Charles Sanford started the race on the outside of the front row, and within 10-15 laps, he had fallen outside of the top 10. So, gonna have to get a heck of a restart here, I think, because as they get that kind of warm-up lap, the first of the 2 overtime laps, I think she could be in danger of losing all the track position that she gained here with the pit strategy.
Yep, and here we go. Double filing up here for the restart. Guess we'll see if the outside lane can get a good restart. That's going to be the big question. 43 outside. Cole Baker there. Both of the Legacy Motorsports cars on the outside lane.
Interesting, too. We talked about Joe Gibbs Racing. Them having 3 of the 4 in the All-Star race. Hendrick Motorsports only has 2 of their 4. Bern Oliveira trying to make it 3 out of 4. Kyle Matthews back there in the 5. I don't think any of the drivers back, like 6th place on back, are going to have a shot at this thing. It's just not enough laps.
Green flag is out. The 7 got a really good jump, but couldn't clear. We'll see what happens.
Be able to get the run down the back straightaway here. Let's see. If I'm the 7, I'm holding it wide open here in 3 and 4.
We'll see what kind of tires it has. 7 able to not able to really hold it full throttle, but she might be able to get clear as the 4 car's coming back down the pit lane. Now can the 7, who's all clear, catch the 9 car?
Gonna have to put down a really good lap. That 9 has been so strong, and he's got a huge gap already. I think it might have extended by another half car length there through 1 and 2. Bern Oliveira, I'll tell you what, if there's a car that starts rear of the field in the All-Star race can work its way up to the front, it might be this Napa Chevrolet. What a performance tonight.
Coming out of turn number 4, it is going to be the Napa Chevrolet. Bern Oliveira, he's going to transfer into the All-Star race. I wonder if maybe the 4 might have gotten a restart violation.
That's what I'm thinking, probably, yep.
Some point, but the 9 able to make it into the All-Star race. A 7 car just so close. I guess these, it really came down to the tires. Perhaps that maybe her tire. She got a good restart, but the side draft on these next gen cars is just incredible.
I just think too the 9 was strong. I mean, you just can't really say it any other way than that. Crenshaw had a strong race car, but I think the 9 was stronger. Oliveira drove from 6th up to the race lead. Crenshaw used strategy to get where she was at. So I think it was academic right now. I'm not sure there was a single car in the field that if they had been on equal footing that they would have been able to contend with that 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, All-Star qualifying is going to be set by random draw this season, mainly because I am too gosh darn lazy to make an exciting qualifying session like I did for the 500, even though I really kind of wanted to. But so we're just going to do random draw and just be lazy. That's what happens. So Bern Oliveira.
There's no points on the line.
Yeah,
so,
no points on the line. There's no need to make it a fancy, a whole fancy qualifying thing.
If there's no money on the line, there doesn't have to be effort.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So Bern Oliveira, congratulations to him. He's gonna take that 9 behind the wall, get it ready for tomorrow night's All-Star race, and we're gonna get ready for 100 laps of racing in the All-Star race itself, which is gonna be so long. But it's going to be broken down into the usual stages. As you can see here, Seth, these drivers can make it about 20 laps, between 19 to 21 laps on fuel.
Right.
So, we make it about, I don't know, the laps may change. It depends on how I want the stage breaks to be. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, a big congratulations to Bern Oliveira on transferring into the All-Star race. Seth, it was a pretty good race for 25 laps.
Drivers now have a notebook they're able to fill up in preparation for the All-Star race. I think you're going to have a lot of teammates that are already locked into the All-Star race field. They're going to be going down there to the ones that took part in this and saying, what did you feel? How did this change? It's going to be a lot of debriefing going on between now and tomorrow night.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Michael Norman. He's Seth Cole. Until we meet again.